So here we are, Singapore. A place that's always building, always reaching for something bigger, shinier. And when it comes to airports, they don't mess around. On May 14th, 2025, just a few days ago, they finally stuck shovels in the ground for Terminal 5. That's right, T5. As if the other four weren't enough, the Prime Minister himself, Lawrence Wong, was there to do the honors. You know it's a big deal when the top brass shows up for a photo op with construction equipment. This isn't just another terminal, it's a statement. A massive, sprawling declaration that Singapore intends to stay at the top of the travel game. It's a long game they're playing, with this beast not expected to open its doors until the mid-2030s. This whole T5 saga, it's been brewing for a while. They first started talking about it way back in 2013. Think about that. Over a decade of planning, designing, probably arguing. It was all set to kick off in 2020, but then, well, the world hit a rather large speed bump called COVID-19. Everything stopped. The grand plans, the ambitious timelines all put on ice. The pandemic changed a lot of things, and airport design was definitely one of them. So, they went back to the drawing board, tweaked things, rethought how a massive international hub should function in a world acutely aware of invisible threats. It's a testament to their persistence, or maybe just their deep pockets, that they're pushing ahead now. The buzzword they're throwing around for T5 is mega yet cozy. Sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it? Like a giant shrimp or authentic replica. But Yam Koom Wang, the big cheese at Changi Group, insists that's the vibe. He's aiming for something that can handle an insane number of people but still feel personal. Stress-free, he says. Surprising even. An airport experience that doesn't make you want to tear your hair out. That's a tall order. Most airports are temples of frustration, designed by people who seem to hate travelers. Changi, to its credit, has always tried to be different. This mega yet cozy thing, it's ambitious. We'll see if they can pull it off. The goal, they say, is a personalized journey. Imagine that. An airport that actually feels like it was designed with human beings in mind, not just luggage carts and security queues. They want it to be an experience, not an ordeal. A place where you might actually want to spend a bit of time, rather than desperately trying to escape it. The idea of a surprising airport is intriguing. What kind of surprises? Good ones, hopefully. Not the surprise, your flight is delayed by 6 hours kind. Changi has a reputation for wowing people with its amenities, so maybe they've got some tricks up their sleeves for T5. It's a bold vision, trying to blend massive scale with individual comfort. The shadow of the pandemic looms large over T5's design. It had to. You can't plan a building of this magnitude for this many people and pretend the last few years didn't happen. So, they've baked in some post-COVID-19 smarts. Think ventilation systems that can go into overdrive if another bug starts making the rounds. Contactless entry points are a big feature too. Less touching, less sharing of germs. It all ties into Changi's grand plan for document-free, biometric-based travel. Your face becomes your passport, your boarding pass. Sounds a bit like science fiction, but it's where things are headed. It's about making the whole process smoother, faster, and hopefully, a bit cleaner. The architecture itself is getting a rethink. They're talking about layered roof leaves, not actual leaves, mind you, but a design that helps with air circulation. Clever. And get this, the terminal can be split into mini terminals if needed, so if there's another global health scare, they can segregate sections, control flows, and keep things moving without a total shutdown. That's some serious forward thinking. It's about resilience. Building an airport that can adapt, that can handle whatever the world throws at it next. Because let's face it, there's always something next. It shows a level of preparedness that many other places could learn from, frankly. This push towards biometric, document-free travel isn't just about hygiene, it's about efficiency. Changi wants to shave off those precious minutes spent fumbling for papers, waiting in line for someone to stamp something. If your identity can be verified seamlessly as you move through the airport, it changes the whole dynamic. Less stress, more time to, well, spend money in their shops, probably. But also more time to just relax, if that's even possible in an airport. It's a significant investment in technology, a gamble that passengers will embrace this new way of moving through these massive transit spaces. The convenience factor is hard to argue with, though. Trent Tesh, one of the architects from Kohn Pedersen Fox, described T5 as a vibrant microcity that is distinctly Singaporean. Lush, layered, and deeply human. High-flown words, but you get the picture. They're not just building a functional box, they're trying to create an environment. He also said efficiency and experience are not mutually exclusive. That's the holy grail for airport design, isn't it? A place that works like a well-oiled machine but doesn't feel cold or impersonal. The distinctly Singaporean part likely means lots of greenery, lots of light, and an almost obsessive attention to detail. It's a promise of something more than just a place to catch a plane. In this day and age, you can't build something this colossal without at least nodding to the environment. So, T5 is going to have a massive rooftop solar power system. They're claiming it will generate enough electricity to power about 20,000 four-room apartments per year. That's a pretty hefty number. It's a good look, of course, but it's also a practical move in a world increasingly focused on sustainable energy. For an energy-hungry beast like an airport terminal, every bit of self-generated power helps. It shows they're thinking about the long-term operational costs and the environmental impact, even if it's just one part of a much larger, resource-intensive operation. It's easy to be cynical about green initiatives in projects of this scale. A few solar panels on a megastructure can feel like a drop in the ocean, but it's a start. And for Changi, which prides itself on being at the forefront, incorporating sustainability features is part of maintaining that image. It's about demonstrating responsibility, or at least an awareness of it. Whether it truly offsets the carbon footprint of the millions of passengers and thousands of flights is another debate entirely. But the intent, to integrate renewable energy sources into the very fabric of the new terminal, is a step in a direction many are demanding. Now, let's talk about who gets to play in this new sandbox. Terminal 5 is set to become the main hub for Singapore Airlines, the national carrier, the pride of the Lion City. This is a big deal for them. A brand new, state-of-the-art facility tailored to their needs. It means more space, smoother operations, and a chance to further enhance their reputation for service. For passengers flying Singapore Airlines, it promises a potentially upgraded ground experience to match what they offer in the air. It solidifies the airlines and the airport's symbiotic relationship, each relying on the other for continued success in the cutthroat world of international aviation. And it's not just the premium carrier getting the prime real estate. Scoot, Singapore Airlines' low-cost offshoot, will also be making T5 its home. This is smart. It consolidates the group's operations, allowing for easier transfers and potentially more efficient use of resources. For travelers on Scoot, it means they won't be relegated to some forgotten corner of the airport. They'll get to experience the shiny new terminal too. It's a recognition that budget travel is a huge part of the market, and those passengers deserve a decent experience as well. This move could streamline things considerably for both airlines and their customers. It's no secret that Changi consistently ranks as one of the world's best airports. In fact, just this year, 2025, it snagged the top spot again. This isn't by accident. They work at it, relentlessly. The groundbreaking of T5 is just another move to solidify that position. They're not resting on their laurels, they're doubling down. With over 68 million passengers passing through in the past year alone, Changi is already the fourth busiest air hub globally. That's a staggering number of people, a constant flow of humanity from every corner of the earth, all converging on this one island nation. It's a critical node in the global travel network. Changi serves as a gateway to 170 cities directly. Think about that reach. It's a true crossroads of the world. But what sets Changi apart, what makes people actually talk about it with something other than disdain, are the extras. The things you don't need in an airport, but that make the experience so much better. We're talking multiple gardens, a butterfly garden for crying out loud. Who puts a butterfly garden in an airport? They do. Cactus, water lily, sunflower, orchid gardens too. There are kids' play areas that are actually decent. A giant slide, a rooftop swimming pool, and even a movie theater. It's less an airport, more a self-contained resort. And then there's Jewel Changi. Completed in 2019, this isn't even part of the terminals technically. It's a 10-story luxury retail complex accessible to non-travelers too, which is a smart move. The centerpiece, the world's largest indoor waterfall, the Rain Vortex. It's spectacular. Water cascading down through a massive glass dome surrounded by terraced gardens. It's an architectural marvel and a huge draw. It turned the airport into a destination in itself. People go there just to hang out, to shop, to eat, even if they're not flying anywhere. That's how you know you've created something special, when locals come to the airport for fun. One of the unique things about Changi is that all its flights are international. This means once you're through immigration, you can wander freely through all the public sections of the connected terminals. There's no strict segregation between domestic and international zones like in many other airports. This openness contributes to the feeling of a unified, expansive space. With T5 joining the ranks, this one Changi experience will become even larger, even more impressive. They're not just building an airport, they're building a legend, and with each new addition, that legend grows. It's a relentless pursuit of excellence, and it's hard not to be a little impressed.